Welcome back to our channel. Today's video is all about skill acquisition. We've got 24 mock exam questions, and let's dive into the logic behind the right answers. Question number 1. Before beginning a new program, what should an RBT do after reviewing the plan's objectives and materials? A. Ask the client which task they want. B. Begin without delay. C. Clarify unclear steps with the supervisor. D. Skip steps that seem unnecessary. The correct answer is C. Clarifying any unclear instructions with the supervisor helps the RBT avoid missteps during implementation. This ensures that the teaching procedures align with the behavior plan and supports the client's progress effectively. Now for the wrong answers. A is not appropriate because RBTs are expected to implement plans as designed by the BCBA, not based on client preferences. B overlooks the need for proper understanding of procedures before starting. D can lead to inconsistent or ineffective instruction if important elements are ignored, so asking for clarification is a simple but crucial step to deliver quality intervention. That's why option C is the best choice. Question number 2. RBT James checks the teaching plan for prompting strategy and mastery criteria before starting the session. What does this step support? A. Shorter session time. B. Consistent implementation. C. Higher reinforcement rate. D. Client enjoyment. The correct answer is B. Reviewing the teaching plan ensures James follows the procedures as intended. This supports consistent implementation, which is essential for collecting reliable data and tracking progress. Now for the wrong answers. A may result from efficiency, but it's not the primary goal. C depends on performance, not planning. D is a nice benefit, but consistent implementation ensures instructional integrity and progress monitoring. So when you follow the plan closely, you deliver effective and trustworthy intervention. Question number 3. Why is organizing materials before a teaching session important for the RBT? A. To make the session more fun. B. To follow the client's pace. C. To ensure fidelity and reduce downtime. D. To demonstrate authority. The correct answer is C. Preparation prevents wasted time and keeps the session flowing smoothly. Having materials ready allows the RBT to follow the plan with accuracy and efficiency. Now for the wrong answers. A may happen, but is not the instructional goal. B is important, but not the reason for organizing materials. D is not related to instructional effectiveness. So, being ready before a teaching session means you can focus on teaching instead of scrambling for tools mid-session. Question number 4. Maria begins teaching without reviewing the task materials. As a result, the client is confused. What likely caused this? A. Ineffective reinforcers. B. Lack of planning. C. Client's mood. D. Incorrect data collection. The correct answer is B. Failing to prepare disrupts instruction and can confuse the client. Reviewing the plan and materials beforehand is crucial to delivering a smooth session. Now for the wrong answers. A may affect motivation, but not clarity of instruction. C could be a factor, but the scenario points to a planning issue. D deals with data, not confusion in teaching. So planning ahead avoids unnecessary frustration for both the RBT and the client. Question number 5. After every 4 correct responses, a child receives a sticker. What reinforcement schedule is this? A. Variable interval. B. Fixed ratio. C. Fixed interval. D. Variable ratio. The correct answer is B. Fixed ratio means reinforcement is delivered after a set number of correct responses. In this case, the child earns a sticker every 4 correct answers, which makes it a fixed ratio 4 schedule. Now for the wrong answers. A and C refer to time-based schedules rather than response count. D would involve a changing number of responses between rewards. To conclude, option B fits the best answer. Fixed ratio schedules are known for producing steady and predictable performance. Question number 6. Why should reinforcement follow behavior immediately? A. To delay gratification. B. To encourage independence. C. To strengthen the behavior reinforcer connection. D. To limit access to items. The correct answer is C. Immediate reinforcement helps the learner connect their behavior to the consequence, making it more likely to happen again. Timing is critical in behavior change. Now for the wrong answers. A might be a long-term goal, but not relevant here. B happens through practice and success, but reinforcement timing is about learning. Option D restricts access, which is not the purpose of reinforcement. So what you take from this question is that reinforce behavior fast. Question number 7. RBT John says touch ball, waits for the response, and delivers praise for the correct answer. What teaching format is this? A. Free operant. B. Incidental teaching. C. DTT. D. Chaining. The correct answer is C. This setup is a textbook example of discrete trial training, or DTT. It includes a clear instruction or discriminative stimulus, the client's response, and immediate consequence like praise or reinforcement. Now for the wrong answers. A refers to unstructured learning where the client engages with materials freely. Without specific instruction or prompts from the RBT, it's more exploratory. B takes advantage of naturally occurring opportunities initiated by the client, which is not happening here because the RBT initiates the instruction. D involves breaking down complex tasks into a sequence of steps, typically used for teaching daily living skills, not isolated instructions. Question number 8. A hallmark of DTT is A. Teaching during transitions. B. Allowing spontaneous responses. C. Structured delivery with clear trials. D. Avoiding reinforcers. The correct answer is C. DTT is defined by its structured format that includes a discriminative stimulus, learner response, and consequence. This format makes learning consistent and measurable. Now for the wrong answers. A refers to a teaching opportunity, but it's not specific to DTT and lacks the defined structure. B is typical in naturalistic approaches, where child-led behavior guides teaching. Unlike the adult-led structure of DTT, D contradicts one of the main principles of DTT, which is using reinforcement to increase correct responses. So DTT is effective because of its predictable and controlled format. Question number 9. The RBT waits for a client to approach a book, then prompts say book. What teaching approach is this? A. Chaining. B. DTT. C. Shaping. D. Incidental teaching. The correct answer is D. This is incidental teaching because the RBT uses the child's natural interest in the book to create a learning moment. The interaction is initiated by the client and capitalized on by the RBT. Now for the wrong answers. A refers to teaching a task in steps, not responding to spontaneous client behavior. B is adult-led and structured with repeated trials, not dependent on the client's interest. C involves reinforcing gradual improvements toward a behavior, which isn't happening here. Incidental teaching of the option D allows for more natural learning by using motivation already present in the situation. Question number 10. What distinguishes naturalistic teaching methods? A. Client choice is restricted. B. Teaching is conducted only in therapy rooms. C. Learning is embedded in natural contexts. D. Behavior is punished to ensure compliance. The correct answer is C. Naturalistic teaching uses everyday environments and routines to teach meaningful skills, often guided by the client's interests and actions. Now for the wrong answers. A limits the client's autonomy, which is the opposite of naturalistic principles. B is too limiting, as these methods aim to generalize learning beyond structured environments. D is unethical and not used in skill acquisition. So natural contexts promote real-world application of learned behaviors. That makes option C the best choice. Question number 11. RBT Laura teaches a task by prompting the final step first, and gradually introducing earlier steps. What is this? A. Total task. B. Forward chaining. C. Incidental teaching. D. Backward chaining. The correct answer is D. In backward chaining, the client is guided through all steps, but only completes the final one independently. At first, each prior step is taught later until the full task is mastered. Now for the wrong answers. A requires the client to attempt all steps at once. Regardless of mastery, B starts with the first step and progresses forward, not from the end. C doesn't involve structured step-by-step instruction, like chaining does. To summarize, option D about backward chaining builds success by ending each trial with the client completing the final, often most rewarding. Question number 12. In which chaining method does the client learn the first step first and proceeds sequentially? A. Backward chaining. B. Forward chaining. C. Total task. D. Stimulus shaping. The correct answer is B. Forward chaining teaches one step at a time, starting from the beginning. As each step is mastered, the next one is introduced, building the full skill progressively. Now for the wrong answers. A teaches the last step first, which is the reverse of forward chaining. C teaches all steps during every trial, regardless of mastery, and requires more initial independence. D involves gradually changing a stimulus to help the client respond correctly, unrelated to the order of task steps. To conclude, forward chaining allows clients to experience early success and gradually increase their independence. Question number 13. The client is asked to point to cat and chooses correctly among distractors. What is this called? A. Prompt fading. B. Shaping. C. Discrimination training. D. Extinction. The correct answer is C. Discrimination training involves teaching the client to respond differently to different stimuli. In this case, the client is identifying the correct item, the cat, from a group of options, which shows they can discriminate between stimuli. Now for the wrong answers. A is a process for gradually removing prompts, not selecting correct responses. Prompt fading is often used after discrimination is learned to build independence. B is used to build up a new behavior by reinforcing closer approximations. Not about choosing between stimuli. D involves withholding reinforcement to reduce behavior. Not about teaching correct responding. Discrimination training in option C helps clients build critical skills like labeling, following directions, and making choices based on specific cues. Question number 14. Why is discrimination training critical in teaching programs? A. To promote compliance. B. To encourage generalization. C. To teach differentiation between stimuli. D. To increase reinforcer strength. The correct answer is C. Discrimination training teaches the learner to identify and respond to specific stimuli while ignoring others, which is essential for real-world functioning, like choosing the right object, word, or action. Now for the wrong answers. A is more about rule following, not understanding differences between stimuli. B happens after discrimination is learned, but it's not the main function. D relates to how motivating reinforcement is, not how stimuli are recognized. So accurate discrimination is foundational for skills like language, academics, and daily routines. Question number 15. An RBT gradually removes prompts while teaching a new skill. What process is this? A. Shaping. B. Stimulus generalization. C. Prompt fading. D. Maintenance. The correct answer is C. Prompt fading ensures that prompts don't become a permanent part of the learning process. It helps transfer control from the prompt to the natural discriminative stimulus. Now for the wrong answers. A involves reinforcing small steps toward a behavior, not reducing support. It's about building behavior, not making it independent. B means applying a skill to new but similar situations, not reducing help. D focuses on keeping a learned skill over time, but doesn't involve fading prompts. Note down that prompt fading builds independence by gradually shifting control to the natural cue, so the learner responds correctly on their own. Question number 16. What shows that stimulus control has been achieved? A. The client responds inconsistently. B. Prompts are always needed. C. The SD alone evokes the behavior. D. Reinforcement is withheld. The correct answer is C. Stimulus control is reached when a behavior reliably happens in response to the SD alone. Without additional prompts, this means learning has transferred to natural cues. Now for the wrong answers. A shows a lack of consistency, indicating the skill hasn't been mastered. B means the client hasn't learned to respond to the SD alone and still relies on help. D refers to the extinction process, which is not part of achieving stimulus control. The takeaway is, achieving stimulus control is a key sign that the skill is strong and functional in real-world settings. Question number 17. RBT Josh begins with full verbal prompts and reduces to visual cues before removing all prompts. What strategy is he using? A. Backward chaining. B. Naturalistic teaching. C. Prompt fading. D. Shaping. The correct answer is C. Josh is using prompt fading by starting with more intrusive prompts and systematically reducing them. This helps guide the client to independence. Now for the wrong answers. A teaches a chain of steps, starting with the last, which isn't relevant here. B uses client interests and spontaneous learning opportunities, not structured prompt reduction. D reinforces small steps toward a behavior, not about reducing existing help. In short, prompt fading helps the client rely less on support and more on the natural cues in their environment. Question number 18. What is the purpose of prompt fading in instruction? A. To build independence. B. To increase session time. C. To avoid reinforcement. D. To create task variation. The correct answer is A. Prompt fading ensures that clients learn to complete tasks on their own by gradually reducing support. It's a key part of effective teaching. Now for the wrong answers. B might happen if fading is done incorrectly, but it's not the goal. C is incorrect because reinforcement is still used throughout fading to maintain motivation. D may occur as part of generalization but is not related to prompt fading. So the main goal of prompt fading is to help the client develop independence and reduce prompt dependency. Question number 19. After learning to say dog with a picture, a client says dog when seeing a real one. This is an example of A. Maintenance. B. Shaping. C. Stimulus generalization. D. Extinction. The correct answer is C. Stimulus generalization occurs when a learned response is demonstrated in the presence of new but similar stimuli. In this case, the skill transferred from a picture to the real-life version of the object. Now for the wrong answers. A refers to the continued use of a skill over time, not using it with new stimuli. B is about gradually reinforcing closer approximations to teach a new behavior. D involves reducing behavior by withholding reinforcement, which is unrelated here. What you learn from this question is, stimulus generalization is critical to making sure skills learned in therapy are useful in everyday life. Question number 20. How can an RBT encourage generalization? A. Vary stimuli and settings. B. Use one learning environment. C. Avoid novel stimuli. D. Keep prompts constant. The correct answer is A. By teaching in multiple settings and with different materials or people, the RBT helps the client apply skills more flexibly across situations. Now for the wrong answers. B limits learning to a narrow context, which can prevent generalization. C prevents exposure to new cues and conditions, which hinders skill transfer. D may create prompt dependency and interfere with independent responding. In short, generalization supports true independence by making sure behaviors occur where they naturally should. Question number 21. To teach book, RBT NIA reinforces the client first by saying buh, then boo, and finally book. What method is used? A. Chaining. B. Shaping. C. Incidental teaching. D. Discrimination training. The correct answer is B. Shaping reinforces successive approximations of a behavior until the final goal is reached. Each closer attempt to the word book is rewarded. Now for the wrong answers. A is about teaching multi-step tasks, not gradual refinement of a single skill. C uses the child's interests to create learning opportunities, which isn't the strategy here. D involves responding to different stimuli, not building a response over time. To note down from this question, shaping is powerful when the full behavior doesn't exist yet and must be built from simpler parts. Question number 22. When is shaping the best teaching method? A. The skill is already mastered. B. A behavior needs to be built gradually. C. The client refuses to respond. D. The SD is unclear. The correct answer is B. Shaping is ideal when a behavior does not currently exist and needs to be developed through small, successive approximations. Now for the wrong answers. A means of shaping is unnecessary. The behavior is already in place. C could be addressed through other strategies depending on the reason for refusal. D should be corrected through clearer instruction, not shaping. So shaping helps introduce entirely new behavior or skills in a step-by-step, manageable way. Question number 23. After every 2 correct answers, the client earns a point. 10 points earn a toy. What is this system? A. Naturalistic teaching. B. Chaining. C. Token economy. D. Intermittent reinforcement. The correct answer is C. A token economy uses symbolic rewards like points or tokens that can be exchanged for a backup reinforcer. It motivates consistent responding over time. Now for the wrong answers. A is built around spontaneous learning in everyday situations, not structured point systems. B is about sequencing tasks, not reward systems. D describes the schedule of reinforcement, but not the system of earning and exchanging. What you will learn is token economies are effective for teaching and maintaining a wide range of behaviors. Question number 24. Why are tokens considered conditioned reinforcers? A. They delay gratification. B. They are inherently rewarding. C. They are exchanged for other reinforcers. D. They act as punishers. The correct answer is C. Tokens themselves don't hold value until they are paired with a desired item or activity over time. The client learns that tokens lead to rewards, making them conditioned reinforcers. Now for the wrong answers. A may be true, but it's not why tokens work. B refers to primary reinforcers like food or comfort, not learned rewards. D is incorrect because tokens are not intended to reduce behavior, but to increase it. So remember that understanding how conditioned reinforcers work helps RBTs create effective motivation systems. That's a wrap on our skill acquisition section with 24 questions. If you want more practice, head over to our website with the link in the description to practice free tests. Make sure to like this video and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming review sessions.